By the series.
Ooh, it was a good old-fashioned blitz by the Celtics, and it all started with, 7.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Boston went on a 62-30 run where they made 10 threes. In that same time frame, Miami was able to make just 3. The Celtics then had their largest road halftime lead in a playoff game in their franchise history, and I think we can all agree that history is a little bit long. One big reason for their return to this series in their dominant fashion was Marcus Smart. He missed game 1, his return from the foot sprain. He made his presence known. Third quarter, 20 points, 11 assists. It's the third time he's done that in his career. Sorry, it was the third career postseason game where he's had those numbers. Defense, he hustled. The Heat fell flat. Miami suffered their first home loss in the postseason, and it wasn't even close. Prior to this one, they were 7-0 at home. That was obviously not the case in this one. Jimmy Butler did have 29, but the rest of the Heat starters combined for just 31.
Stephen A. Smith joins us now from Miami. Stephen A. Jason Tatum had 27 in this game, but this may well be known as the Marcus Smart game moving forward. He was spectacular, talked about his poise when things got spicy. What impact do you think Marcus Smart had on the game?
Well, I think he had a profound impact because everybody's looking at his offense. What I'm looking at is his defense and the level of toughness he reinstilled in the Boston Celtics following their Game 1 debacle. Remember, they had a halftime lead. What happens in the third quarter? Miami comes out with a 22-2 run, outscores them 39-14 in the third quarter, completely punked the Boston Celtics in the third quarter of that game. Well, Marcus Smart is saying that ain't going to happen on my watch. So he comes in Game 2 and he makes sure to reinstill a toughness, their defensive identity, the things that got them here to begin with. It was nice to see his offense, make no mistake about it, but the way the Boston Celtics were rolling even before halftime showed you what they're capable of offensively. Defensively is what you were looking for from Marcus Smart, and he showed up from opening tap and made sure everybody else did as well. And from that standpoint, the Boston Celtics definitely ran away with it.
Stephen A., we want to resist the urge to be a prisoner of the moment, but Miami looked pedestrian, Jimmy Butler notwithstanding. What was exposed in Miami tonight?
That Jimmy Butler has no help offensively. That's what this really comes down to. Tyler Hero is the reigning 6th man of the year, but Boston is the top defense. Bottom line, Miami's a top 5 defense as well, but Boston's defense is elite. Make no mistake about it. When they get rolling, they're like a bunch of piranhas. They come at you, and there's very little that you can do about it unless you are a star. Jimmy Butler's that guy. So he follows up his 41-point performance in Game 1 with 29. But Tyler Hero wasn't there. Gabe Vincent wasn't there. Bam Adebayo, don't know what the hell is wrong with him. He can definitely play the game of basketball. An elite defender, I might add. But offensively, pedestrian doesn't begin to describe him. He's not attempting enough shots. Some of that are them not getting him the ball enough. Other times, he's not taking advantage of the opportunities that are available to him. So Jimmy Butler is a lone ranger. He's all by himself, getting minimal help, if that, at all. And if that continues, this series is going to be over in 5. They better help Jimmy Butler. Otherwise, the next time I'm back here, the Boston Celtics are going to close them out.
It certainly seemed like that here after Game 2. Stephen A., how about the resiliency of the Celtics? They lose Game 1 in this series. They lost Game 1 to Milwaukee. They won Games 5 and 6 in that series as well. Where does that resiliency come from?
From their defense. They know when all else fails, they can stop anybody. That's the thing that has made the Boston Celtics force us all to give them the recognition they so richly deserve. Udoka is doing a sensational job as a first-year coach. We understand his pedigree is that of a championship one, coaching under Greg Popovich all of those years. He understands what it takes. He's been in these moments before, albeit as an assistant, and he's really instilled that culture in the Boston Celtics. Remember, they had an opportunity to avoid the Brooklyn Nets the last week of the season. They did not do that. They wanted Kyrie and KD. They said, who the hell are they? We will handle them. And that's exactly what they did. They swept them. They go up against Giannis Antetokounmpo, the reigning defending NBA champion. They said, we'll bounce them out too. albeit helped by the absence of Chris Middleton. And now they're going against the Miami Heat. And no matter how elite Miami's defense is, the Celtics are saying our defense is the defense that everybody should be worried about. And they're showing it throughout this series as far as I'm concerned, and they certainly showed it in Game 2.
Defense was great. The offense was great. 6 players in double figures, 24 for Smart and Brown, 27 for Jason Tatum. Stephen A. Smith from Miami here tonight on SportsCenter.
Stephen A. said their coach has the pedigree of a champion. Well, he's at the mic right now after the win.
Yeah, we knew they're a team that runs quite a bit. Didn't get to it in the first game. Not surprised, but they upped their physicality and didn't need to get to it tonight. They tried it, and we've had some good sets and success against it later in the season, being that we saw it quite a bit early in the season. So we're ready for that.
Ime, how did you like your team's response tonight, and how good was it to have Marcus and Al back in the lineup with you?
Yeah, it was great to have the vets back, obviously, calming presence there. Didn't get off to our best start, a little slow to start, but fought right back into it. And after, I guess, the first 5 or 6 minutes, we held them down scoring-wise. But overall, it was good overall effort. Bounced back. I felt we didn't play as poorly as last game showed. You know, we won, like I said, we won 3 quarters and had a very bad third quarter that was hard to overcome, but we saw a lot of positives and areas we could attack, and so it helped to have those 2 back for sure.
Ime, tonight you guys, according to Second Spectrum tracking data, switched on 33 pick and rolls, allowed only 15 points, caused 2 turnovers. Obviously, Al Horford and Marcus Smart returning makes a significant difference in your ability to switch. I guess what's your reaction to hearing those type of numbers going into the game plan that you had with the willingness to switch?
Yeah, it's what we've done all year to some extent. One of the better switching teams that we switched a lot, and having certain defenders back obviously helped that, aided that tonight. But you know, we saw Hero get downhill a little bit too much, Butler as well last game, and wanted to have bodies in front of bodies. And what we showed them at halftime was good physicality, good pickup points, and good attention to detail on certain guys. Aggressive reds, aggressive switches, and you know, they pretty much saw a body every time they came off and didn't get a lot of clean shots. So I'm happy with what we did tonight.
Ime, why do you think your team?
Well, it was the 5th road win by 25 or more points in Celtics playoff history. It's also their largest road win in the conference finals or later. It was the 21st postseason game this season in which a game was decided by at least 20 points, and that is tied for the second most in a single season in NBA history. I want to bring in our Matt Barnes now. They're so
foot injury. How much were you just chomping at the bit to get out here for this game too?
I was pumped. You know, I felt bad that I couldn't be out there with my teammates and go to battle with them. You know, we're playing against a really good Miami Heat team, and you know it's a blessing to be on the same court with them and going to war. And it's just tough not to be out there, you know. So, but I got to get my rest, got to get my health back, got to watch and see some things and come out and execute this game.
What did you see? What was the difference having you and Al back tonight?
Just our poise. We were under control. Me and Al, you know, when things kind of got a little spicy for us, we settled ourselves down. You know, me and Al have been doing this for a while. We've been doing this the longest on this team, and we know what it takes. And it's going to take everything. And, you know, we got to help Jalen and Jason. You know, they putting a lot of pressure on them, rightfully so. They've earned that, and we got to come in and help them.
You had a lot of the defensive responsibilities on Jimmy Butler. How were you able to keep him relatively quiet tonight?
Just playing. You know, we all know Jimmy's a great player. You know, he's been doing this for a long time as well. He knows what it takes, and he got that heart. And every time me and Jimmy go up, it's a matchup that we love. We love doing it, and we're going to compete. It took a full team effort tonight. You know, I started on him, but everybody got a shot, and we just tried to do our best.
That right foot, it kept you out of game 1. How's it feeling right now?
It's feeling great. It's feeling great. It's still a little sore, but it's not sore enough for me to get out here and give it everything I got for my teammates.
And lastly, they knew that you were going to come out here and fight after what happened in game 1. Now you know they're about to do the same. How do you prepare for that for game 3 back in Boston?
The same way we've been preparing. We expect it. You know, we got 2 physical teams. You got the number 1 team and the number 2 team going at it, and it's a grind, you know, and we know what it's going to take. We know they're coming. They're trying to come in our house, and they're trying to get a win, and we got to protect home court.
Thank you, Marcus. Congrats on the win.
The Defensive Player of the Year. Thank you, Lisa.
Able to play 40 minutes after being unable to play in